It's a lot.
What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Tottenham through to the next round of the Carabao Cup, the quarter-finals on penalties against Chelsea. Let's waste no time whatsoever and let's bring in my grandpa. Let's see what he has to say. Grandpa, how are you?
I'm great. Hi, guys. Spurs are back.
Spurs are back.
Spurs are good. Bit quiet first half, but second half, wow, they were back like the same way as they were against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Tremendous fighting all the time. Good to see the new players playing so well, and I reckon Reguilón, other than the mistake he made at the beginning, was fantastic.
Yeah,
and
I agree with that.
Pace on the left there is what we've always needed, and it's great. He really does move fast and is quick-witted. I won't rate him the man of the match.
Is he going to be better than Danny Rose?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. I'm afraid so. But I don't rate him man of the match. I rate Lamela.
Lamela.
I reckon that he was
No,
did you agree?
Slav agrees with you.
Oh, good. You're a good man. He was fighting all the time. He was in the match all the time. And he got the goal. And he was, I just think he was there. He was there fighting right from the very beginning. He never stopped. And I think that's important as well. Aurier in the second half also came into his own.
Yeah.
Pushing some passes across, but I don't know how many shots on goal we had, but I think it wasn't as many as we had against Newcastle. But it was pretty good. That last half was pretty good, and I think what I would be very interested to know is what Mourinho said at halftime, because he must have done the biggest kick up the arse that they've ever had.
Well, they needed it, didn't they?
Like scolded cats. Yeah, they came out like scolded cats. Yeah, I think he brought in his replacements in good time, good speed.
But how much praise do you give this team? Because 2 days ago we played against Newcastle. We've had to play another game 48 hours later with no backup striker. We're playing against a team like Chelsea, who have spent a lot of money in the summer, who have got their pretty much full strength team or near full strength team out on the pitch, and to battle back like we did in a very tough game. With a lot of players who are very tired from playing 2 days before. How well did we do to get through this tie?
Tell him to join now.
Yeah, well, we had some players, what is his name? Reguilón.
Yeah.
It was his first game out, so he wasn't tired, and he held them together in both halves in a way. He just slipped up with that one mistake. And the other new guy who played when he came on was good. Of course, you had Kane and Aura on at the end, so he boosted it up at the end, which I think was always his intention. So they still kept their fitness for the next match. And if he plays half a match with his best player, does it that way. That's another way. If you've got a team that's working together, that's another way of saving their breath.
Yeah, because we got another game.
So I think that's right. The Yin Army against the Yin Army.
Exactly. You know exactly how it is. So, but are we going to win the Carabao Cup now, Grandpa?
I would hope so. Next.
All right, so we got
next.
The draw hasn't been made yet. I think the draw will be made tomorrow or Thursday night
at 10 p.m.
So we'll have to wait until Thursday to see who we play next.
All right.
But look, we're through to the next round against all the odds. Grandpa, thank you very much for joining us. Always a pleasure speaking to you.
Yeah.
Nice to you, Grandpa.
Great watch.
Come on.
All right, this one I'm very looking forward to. Let's bring on Lewis G from CFC Fan TV.
Oh, we got Lewis
from Blues Fans TV.
Blues Fans TV, I'm afraid. Blues Fans TV.
All right, come on. Let's be
Come
friendly.
on, Lewis.
Be nice. Just everyone chill. How you doing, Lewis?
I said Jose would do this. I said Jose would do this. I was calling a Jose ball effect from the start. Sam, you remember we were talking about this yesterday, and I was saying Liverpool away 2014. He loves it against the odds.
He called it. He called it, to be fair to him.
But Lewis,
I can't make too much out of it.
How do you think the game went in terms of the gameplay of the game? Do you think Spurs deserve the win? Hello?
Jose was going to set out. It was going to be a long-lasting game where you lot were going to... Because we like making individual mistakes, and it's exactly what happened for the equaliser. Emerson was just caught napping, and Lamela had a free space to shoot. Overall, if you want me to maybe not, but what Jose Mourinho's like, he's going to make the most out of the opportunities that he had. So I think it's fair play. Jose takes it because it's a Jose shithouse, isn't it? We're used to it. I'm healthy. I've seen it. Seen it so many times.
I don't think you did too much in the way of causing us any attacking problems. I think your goal came from an individual error on our part, with the never-ending slide tackle and giving the ball away. But I thought for all the talent that you had on the pitch, you genuinely just did not do anything. How much did you spend on these players? They just didn't. They were just passing it. They were just passing it in circles, really. And there was not really any point in that game where I felt we were really under any.
Werner only signing the side. Oh no, Chilwell as well.
Yeah, Chilwell was there as well. Havertz was on the bench. He didn't bring him on. But
here's the thing: there's only Werner and Chilwell started. They both had good games.
But you got to give Spurs credit how they came out in that second half, because I thought it was a completely different team second half than it was the first half.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Second half, you were a completely different side. I don't think it made too much in the difference of things. I think we controlled it until the mistake for the first goal. But as soon as you lot get that first goal, you're just going to sit back and hold it till penalties. Because I know exactly what Jose was trying to do. He was trying to long it out because penalties was going to be your best chance of beating us. And it worked. Like, I can't really say much else about it. It worked for you guys today. I had a feeling Jose was going to pull something out the bag, and it happened again.
I want to know from you though, like after the performance you had against West Brom on the weekend, not winning this game, is the pressure starting to mount on Frank a bit, or is it still early days?
Is the pressure starting to Mason Mount?
No, I think if anything, if pressure's coming from our own fans, and it's all stupid. I mean, Mason Mount's been overplayed a little bit too much, and I will say that. But it's not really his fault. I think, if anything, could have taken him off a bit earlier towards the end of the game because he looked gassed. Like, there was a big pass to Werner they couldn't make, and he couldn't have and he didn't notice it towards the end of the match. You could see it in his gameplay. He wasn't the same player. We've overplayed him a little bit too much, but I still don't. I don't think he's getting any backlash from the manager. If he's getting any backlash, it's from our own fans who are just pushing stupid agendas.
And I'm saying the pressure on Frank though, on Lampard. Do you think there's a bit of pressure coming?
But is my connection good, guys?
Not really. No, your connection's a bit like Chelsea's performance tonight.
Oh, it might be because I'm rendering a video as well. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Let's finish off.
Get a little dig in.
Let's finish off telling who do you think your man of the match was?
Man of the match for Chelsea, probably Kurt Zuma. I think Zuma and Tamura had excellent games, but same way, you lot weren't really threatening us that much. It was more or less a sweeper job every time you had one of your players going forward. But I will say they were the better players.
Lewis, it's a shame we don't live together anymore. I can't rub it in 1402 anymore. But are you disappointed by?
Oh, I am so glad I'm not in Wembley right now. I probably won't see you for another month now.
Oh, come on, give me a call. We'll go out. I just wanted to know if you were a bit disappointed by the Chelsea performance. Like Ben and Sim said, you weren't great on the weekend at West Brom, and you probably expected a bit of a reaction from your players tonight, and obviously you sort of saw it in the first half, not so much as the game went on. So are you disappointed to be out of the competition?
Yes, because I've been saying for a while, I wanted Chelsea to get that trophy so the Chelsea youth get a feeling of what it feels like to win a trophy for us. And now that's going to last a couple more months, which is a bit annoying. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not too bad. I mean, this season's going to be the worst season for fixture pile-ups, and you lot know that better than anyone else. So I'm kind of glad we're out of this a bit early. In the grand scheme of things, it might help us. You guys, that's another fixture for you lot, so that might actually be worse for you guys in the long run.
December,
But you lot need a trophy anyway, so I don't even know if you care too much.
Look, at the end of the day, we've got our back for that penalty shootout 2 years ago at Stamford Bridge. Tottenham have won on penalties, Lewis. Enjoy it tonight.
Take your L.
Take your L.
Yeah.
And look, Lewis, thank you so much for coming on. Always a pleasure speaking to you, mate.
And thank you for yesterday as well, Lewis.
We'll see you at the bridge for your yearly L as well, don't worry.
Good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
No worries, mate.
All good, all good. All right, let's get on our next guest. Hopefully the connection is a bit better.
Matt or so, is it?
It's Matt Hayes, I believe, is next. Yes, Matt Hayes. Come on, mate.
Come on, Matt.
You need to stop bringing me out of the most stressful games we have. Every time I'm here, something goes wrong.
But, you know, things went wrong, but we won on penalties against Chelsea.
Oh, what a great night.
Talk me through your thoughts of the game.
Well, it really was a game of two halves, to be honest. And I think it's what we were expecting from Jose Mourinho. And personally, I wasn't expecting to see too much of a result from it. But somehow we have managed to come out of that going into the quarterfinal. I just want to mention, first of all, how ridiculous it was that we were made play tonight, because, you know, Jose Mourinho alluded to it himself. But like the next round of this cup isn't until the 22nd of December. So there's 3 months that we have to play that game. And I'm sure they could have fit this game in somewhere else, like with, you know, playing 2 Thursdays in a row and having this on top. It was unfair in our schedule, but to be honest, in a way, it's worked out because we got to see our second string team beat Chelsea's first team, and that's always ideal. So we enjoyed that, obviously, but it was in the first half. I wouldn't say it was a bad performance or anything like that, because, you know, they went out there to do a job, and essentially they did what they wanted to do. We stayed in the game, and I know obviously that's not the hope you want to have going into a game against one of your biggest rivals, but it's what did the job for us. And whatever Jose said at halftime, whatever he told them, whatever he said to them, it worked, and we ended up getting the result. And I was a bit sceptical with the subs he did make. I was kind of surprised to see Højbjerg be the first player come off the bench, especially for Jedson, who I think offers a bit more of an attacking threat than Højbjerg. But I'm not going to question the genius because he's got us through tonight.
I actually thought the Højbjerg substitution was quite clever. I thought he was brought on to sort of stop the counter attacks from Chelsea and get the attack started for us, and I think we saw that as well. I think the difference between him and Jedson is the calmness on the ball, the first touch, the playing the right pass, the forward pass, and I thought the substitution was actually bang on in that one. And obviously we saw in the penalty shootout as well, to have that mentality, the leadership.
He was calm, wasn't he?
Calm, slotted it home, and I think every game Højbjerg is starting to prove how important he really is.
Yeah, for sure.
What did you make of Reguilón's performance?
I think, just taking like kind of the performance on its own, I thought he was really, really good, and it was a fantastic debut from him. But when you take into consideration the start that he had with, I suppose you could call it a double mistake to lead to that opening goal for Timo Werner, I think the mentality and the character that he showed to come back from that, and we saw like straight after it, he didn't go back into a shell. He came straight out fighting afterwards. He had that challenge on Kurt Zouma down in the opposite corner, and he wasn't letting it get to him at all. I thought he looked good on the ball. He looked confident going forward. He was solid in defence. He made a few fantastic challenges to break up Chelsea's counter-attacks. He put some brilliant balls into the box. He was getting in around the back post with crosses from the other side. I know, obviously not to great effect. Even, I suppose, he of course got an assist as well. I know he got a bit of luck with that sloppy touch, which just kind of got around the defender. But he lifted it into a really good position. And while it wasn't he didn't pick out Erik Lamela, he put the ball into that danger zone. And he made the chance happen, albeit not completely intentionally. So I think, all things considered, it was a really, really promising debut from him. And it was great to see when Mason Mount missed that penalty at the end, he was the first one sprinting out of that line through to Hugo Lloris to celebrate the victory.
It was a complete breath of fresh air having someone with pace at left back finally again. You know what I mean? It was a weird feeling.
Pace on both wings? What are you talking about?
But who was your standout performer today?
Well, I suppose in terms of the quality they showed on the pitch, I would probably have to lean towards someone like Reguilón. But for just in general, I think Erik Lamela, you know, in the first half, especially on the ball, he was absolutely shocking. He didn't seem capable of picking out a pass. He was dreadful when he got it, but every single time the ball was near him, he was sprinting around there. He was getting at the defenders' heels. He was making them. He was forcing them into decisions, making them move the ball quickly. And I think he was very important for us in that first half, because we didn't have much in terms of attacking threat in that first half, but he managed to make that Chelsea defence kind of worry about a few things. And then when we got into the second half, he was picking up some really good positions, getting into some really dangerous spaces. And of course, he got the goal that's brought us back into the game in the end. And it's a typical performance from Lamela. Like, you're never going to expect him to go out in the pitch and be the one who, you know, picks out 4, 5, 6 key passes, gets assists, gets goals. That's not the type of player that he is. But what he is there to do is exactly what he did tonight. He sprinted after every single ball, and the grit and determination and the energy that he showed as well to be able to do that. I think he was absolutely pivotal to our victory tonight.
I agree. I think the thing with Lamela tonight is that when he got the ball, he's normally used to when he gets the ball in the final third, he has players in front of him. Mm-hmm. He's not normally the furthest one forward, other than maybe Bergwijn tonight. Mm-hmm. And I think he was just causing a problem, just putting yourself about.
He was being a nuisance all night.
And obviously, like you said, he got the all important goal that has essentially won us the game. And I think we all have said before the game, all we want to see is a bit of effort, the right attitude, and I think that's what Lamela brought. Okay, his final ball wasn't there, his touch wasn't there. We might have groaned at the fact he didn't release the ball when he wanted him to, but
for 7 years we've grown.
Yeah, but I think he was given a different role tonight, a very difficult role against a very, very good team and a very good set of defenders against £50 million defenders, essentially, some of them. Yeah. And I thought he did really, really well. So credit to Erik Lamela there. I agree with what he said.
Do you think tonight, though, was even more evidence of that, the lack of backup striker, how much it hurts us in these kind of games? Because we really had no physical threat up front before Harry Kane came on. And even with the goal, you can see the goal comes about because both centre-backs are drawn to Harry Kane. It leaves Lamela free at the back post to prod home. So how, Mourinho was talking before the game about, we're a club who operates different to other clubs and we're trying our best to get a striker. But we'll see what happens until the last minute of the window. How crucial is it we get that striker in?
To be honest, I think it's more important than it's ever been, because we're in a situation now where you can see from tonight we have that winning mentality that perhaps is the only thing that was missing from the Pochettino era. And as you say, like with that first 70 minutes tonight, there was no attacking threat. Every time we got forward, it looked as though Chelsea would deal with it comfortably. We didn't seem that we would score, and of course, in the end, that proved true. But I think even when Harry Kane came on, there was a bit more of a threat there, and as you say, that like defenders drawn to him in that situation, and we looked a bit more positive going forward. And I'm sure it is just a mentality thing, when you're going out with Lamela and Bergwijn being your two most attacking players, they don't score goals. It's not the types of player that they are. I think it was a massive mentality thing when Harry Kane came on the pitch. But I do think, with regards to that attacking bite that we do have, I think Heung-min Son is so much more important to that. Because we saw on Sunday, when he came off at half-time, I know we still played pretty well in the second half, but we were peppering that Newcastle goal in the first half. And once Son came off, I think we were a very different team, and we looked a lot kind of tamer when we were going forward. But with regards to bringing in a striker, I know, like I was saying at my own channel earlier today, with this ban for the fans not being allowed in stadiums for the 6 months, I think the budget could have been sliced there for Daniel Levy. So I think, I'm not sure we will see the signings that we were expecting last week or so in terms of Skriniar and Milik or something similar to that. But we do, without a shadow of a doubt, need to bring in a striker. And even if it is just someone like Fernando Llorente, I know Christian Benteke has been put around as a name. I wouldn't like to see him specifically, but if it is just a physical presence up there, because I know you mentioned it very early on, the kind of first time we got forward, it was when Bergwijn tried to play Lamela down the line. Mm-hmm. There was no presence there. There was nothing to kind of really put fear in that Chelsea defence. In a game like tonight, if just for example, if we had Benteke, that ball when it was played forward, he would have been able to hold it up, and then if he'd runners coming from deep in Lamela and Bergwijn, he could have fed them into the game, and we would have had a lot more of a threat. So I think now that we do have a manager who knows how to win, and he proved that tonight, and we're bringing in players who know how to win in Bale and Reguilón, and potentially a few players from Italy, I think bringing in that final piece of the jigsaw is absolutely crucial, and it could be what propels us on to success this season.
All right, Matt, absolute pleasure speaking to you as always. The feel-good factor is back at White Hart Lane. Come on, you Spurs.
Thanks a million, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Good to have you on, mate. It's important to note on Son, actually, I just want to say, we haven't said on stream yet, Mourinho was asked about the Son injury after the game, and he said that he expects Son to be fit after the international break.
Come on!
And he says he hopes that international managers are aware of the situation that Spurs players have been in, and they are kind of sensitive to that, and they don't overwork the players that are, just played 4 games in 7 days. And Dyer has just posted that on his Instagram. I don't know if you could see the Carabao Cup in the toilet. There you go.
Do you want to go to some super chats?
Yeah, we got a super chat here from Sukrem Bat. He says, He donated 400 of some currency. He says,
Rupees, I think it is.
Rupees.
Yeah.
It says it's 3 a.m. here in India, and I've got tons of classes tomorrow, but nothing brings a good night's sleep better than a Spurs win. Over
Come
Chelsea.
on,
Slav, please keep on predicting our victories. So happy.
You said
so
all
happy.
penalties.
I will, mate. Thank you very
He
much.
says,
for
so
watching.
happy we didn't take the 11 from the hashtag 11 from Coco.
Thank you very
There we
much,
go.
mate. Thank you.
And there was another
Good luck
one
for your
somewhere.
classes.
Yeah, good. Hopefully you get up. And
Yeah,
here's from
good luck
Thomas
waking up.
James Smith, £5. Thank you, man. Says, cheers, lads, for the great coverage from Aberdeen, from the Aberdeen boys, Yidos.
Go on, you
Go
Aberdeen
on,
boys.
Come on. Always good to hear from the Scottish Yids.
All right, let's go on to our next guest, who is going to be Sam. Sam, talk to me, Sam. How you doing? Come on!
I've got to keep the volume low. It's 1:30 in Dubai. But,
Dubai, love that.
it was.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind coming out there.
You can get an Uber helicopter
the
here.
way-
Don't worry about it.
It was amazing, especially Lamela. I thought he just ran his heart out. He was a constant menace. He didn't let the Chelsea defense settle. And then Reguilón, showed great character. He was fault definitely for the first goal, but then after that, I think he was amazing just to kind of show the character and play the rest of the game. And to be honest, he was probably our only outlet ball throughout the game. He was just up and down, running just 100%. So really looking forward to him kind of playing for the rest of the season.
Do you commend the effort and the kind of desire from the lads today? Because obviously we've seen in the past when things are not going right for Tottenham, we kind of fall flat on our feet and you don't see much effort and desire. Do you kind of say that Jose Mourinho is bringing that to Tottenham now?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously he said something at halftime because Eric Dyer ran off the pitch and had to go to the loo. He was going nuts because then you just see Mourinho just go down the tunnel and you think, what's happened there? And then because I think Chelsea attacked, it was it Tammy Abraham or
it was one of them, but there was only one at the back, and Kobe Alderweireld was there by himself.
Yeah, exactly. And then when he missed, you just see Sissoko saying, "Like, where's Eric? Like, where's?" But no, I think coming back to your question, I think Jose is kind of demanding high standards, and to be honest, although Chelsea had a lot of the possession for the first half, they didn't really create any chances, to be honest. I think their goal came from our mistake, but apart from that, we just kind of let them have possession. As I said, Lamela just ran his heart out, and it was good that he got rewarded for that goal. But yeah, great performance. Because I think against the Newcastle, after the Newcastle game, it must have been quite difficult for the team to take. It was obvious that Mourinho was really disappointed, so it was probably hard for him to not show that emotion to the team. But I think we did really well, and it was good to have Sissoko back in the team because I think that was only his second start for the season. So and I think he brings. I think. Winks is a bit kind of, he doesn't bring urgency, but I think the good thing about Sissoko just brings so much energy to the team. And I think the three in midfield really suits Sissoko as well, with Indombele and I think it was Jedson, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I think Sissoko had a good game as well, so would probably like to see him a lot more. And now we've got two attacking fullbacks. We might change up the formation. I don't know, or maybe the way that we play, because it certainly suits Doherty having like two wing backs, because that's how they played against Wolves. So yeah, looking forward to it and hopefully get another positive result on Thursday.
Let's hope so. Absolute pleasure speaking to you, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, guys.
Come on, you Spurs!
Come on.
I agree with what you said about Sissoko, because I think when we bought him, he wasn't bought to be a first choice central midfielder. We didn't spend that money, even though it was a lot of money for him to be the central midfielder And I think one thing we've lacked, when we didn't, I've said it before, when we didn't win the league, it's because we didn't have the depth up. I mean, you look at our bench, you had Josh Onumara.
Exactly.
You look at it,
Tom Carroll, Ryan Mason.
and you need options like that on your bench now. Sissoko, Jedson.
Definitely. I mean, we've got.
That's the
I
difference.
think this is
It's
the best
good
squad we've had
depth.
in a long time.
Yes, we had a good starting 11 in the Poch days. We had the best starting 11 in the Poch days, arguably, but not a good squad. And I think that's the difference.
Frank O is with a super chat. $5 says California is watching, guys. Go Spurs.
Go on, Cali.
Very, very
Love
American. Go
Cali.
Spurs.
Let's bring in David Harris.
Come on, David.
Yes,
Come
David
on,
Harris
David.
watching all
Come
the way
on.
in Ireland.
Come
Tottenham
on.
have beaten Chelsea on penalties.
Let's see that
I
smile.
can see that smile. David, talk to me.
Oh, he's muted
your
again.
audio's
You're
off.
muted.
Your
You're
audio's
muted.
off.
You're muted again, mate. Oh. You're muted. One sec.
Don't worry, that smile tells the whole story. But let's bring him on after. Is there
We'll get
anyone
him back.
else to
We'll get
bring
him
on?
back.
Let's
We'll get him
let's
back.
bring on our next guest.
Yeah, is anyone else in that?
Hello, my friend.
How you
How you
doing,
guys
mate? You
doing?
alright? Yes, sir. I love
Buzzing
that.
right now, baby. Let's
Come
go.
on, come on.
Come on. Absolutely fantastic performance. I mean, yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. I think we can look at this from the second half of that Southampton game. Spurs have been phenomenal. Like, if you extend it out there, we scored the goals. We got the job done against Shindia. We played brilliantly against Newcastle and got totally screwed in the end. And now an unbelievable performance against Chelsea. What a lift for the players to win in penalties. I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm buzzing.
Is the feel-good factor back at Tottenham yet?
I hope so. I really do hope so. I mean, you just know we're gonna go to
Look at
Maccabee
the smile
Haifa
on
and it's
his
gonna be a
face.
slog, and you just know it, right? It's never a dull moment being a Spurs fan, but absolutely phenomenal today, and I have no words other than that. I'm just phenomenal.
Do you feel like today, with the circumstances, the fixtures, 48 hours after playing Newcastle, we got another game in 48 hours. Do you really feel that Jose got one over on Frank today?
Oh, a little bit for sure. I mean, he's the master of the mind games. I saw a tweet from Rick Sachs, and it was just like the master of the mind games and just a picture of him scheming. He's amazing. He gets that right. I think the previous guy before me got it right. We made 9 changes to our starting 11 today, and we still didn't miss a beat. We looked so strong. I mean, what a awesome debut by Sergio Reguilón. Obviously not ideal to give up that mistake, but the feeling that I got was that most of his mistakes were because he was overeager, because he was excited, because he was bright and fitting into the team. You can totally relate to that. You'd much rather have those mistakes than him just be a poor player. We know he's a quality player. Once he gets used to it more, it's going to be really exciting seeing him go up and down the left side. It was exhilarating. He was so lively today.
Who really stood out for you today, other than Sergio on the left hand side? Who stepped up and took responsibility? Who do you think stood out?
I mean, I'm a huge Tongi fan. I think he played another great game today. This is Chelsea. I don't know how much better of a team that he needs to play to feel really comfortable. He bossed the center midfield against a really quality opponent. I'm sure he's surging with confidence right now, and especially when he goes into if he plays on Thursday or if he plays on Sunday, I'm sure he's going to be buzzing from that performance and ready to go out. Other than that, we looked pretty solid at the back. Lamela was so lively. I mean, he obviously in the first half he couldn't dribble past someone to save his life, but still, it's really awesome when you could have a player like him and Sissoko, especially when the season kind of comforts out a bit, when it's a bit, the fixture list is a bit more manageable, to have both those players on your bench who could come in and are going to work their absolute tail off and run around and provide so much energy. It's going to be so valuable for us. Absolutely, so valuable.
No, totally. Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's important to have good players on the bench and have energy and people that want to cause problems off the bench, and it's a massive part of the game.
Yeah, there's
Absolutely.
a player that not many people have spoken about tonight in Jedson Fernandes. Obviously, he doesn't see much minutes. What did you make out of his performance today? Obviously, he got taken off around the 60, 70-minute mark, didn't he?
Yeah, what is he? It's tough to tell.
What is a Jedson?
Honestly, for me, this is kind of my take on Jedson. I think, honestly, this is probably his best performance, but I don't think he played that well. I think he's a good body to have around. He could fill in multiple places, and that's kind of what I see the future for Jedson this year. He's still a young player and developing. I don't think we're going to exercise that purchase option in the slightest. But
yeah, I mean, for 50 million.
Yeah, no.
yeah, I think it's a bit too expensive, just a little bit. But no, I think he obviously has still a long way to go. He's still really raw. Again, he still needs to figure out what he could do positionally. But I think in the future and moving forward, we're kind of use him as like a bit part player, and especially if I mean, it's Tottenham. We're always expecting the worst with injuries, right? We have so much depth at the center midfield, but you just know in 2 games we're going to have 2-3 injuries. Højbjerg, Sissoko are going to be gone. You just know that. So just to have a player like that who can fill in multiple positions is valuable. But I don't see a future for him at Tottenham past this loan spell, at least for 50 million. No job.
All right, brilliant. Absolute pleasure speaking to you as always, especially after beating the Chelsea on penalties. Thank you for coming on, mate.
Great. It's the middle of the day now. He can go.
Yeah, come on, go.
Exactly. Have some drinks.
We have a new gold member, Bradley Moulay.
Bradley Moulay. Thank you, Bradley. Welcome to Gold.
Thanks for coming on.
Let's bring on Sam Harcourt next. Sam.
Sam.
Hello.
Yes, Sam.
Hello.
How you doing, mate?
How's it going, mate?
Yeah, I'm alright, thank you.
A bit happier than last week?
Most certainly. I mean, an absolute Mourinho masterclass, in my opinion.
Did Lampard get Mourinho today, you think?
Pardon, sorry?
Did Lampard get Mourinho today?
Yeah.
But talk me through your thoughts on the game. How do you think the game went?
I mean, first half, there was definitely room for improvement, and Sergio Reguilón wasn't at his best. But, I mean, second half, as I said, Mourinho at his best. He didn't make any changes, and yet we came out looking like a completely different team. And Bergwijn was finding pockets of space. Lamela was finding pockets of space. But it's just the fact that we didn't have Harry Kane. So when that ball went to Lamela in the pockets of space, he couldn't pass through to Harry Kane, who then could finish. Because, I mean, Lamela and Bergwijn's finishing's a bit like temperamental. It's a bit changing. But, I mean, Lamela's goal, amazing. Brought us back right into the game. But, yeah, no. And I think Sergio Reguilón is going to have a great future. And for a debut, it's not bad at all, assist.
Did the game today just show how much we need that striker in?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And honestly, I don't know whether we're going to get it, which is a shame.
Come on, you got to be confident after a 1-0 penalty win against Chelsea. Come on. We're going to get someone good in, surely.
We need it. It's needed. It's so badly needed.
We had to rely on Kane to come on to provide some sort of physical presence, so that the other attacking players come into play.
No, of course.
Yeah, just an out-and-out finisher, because when you have players like Son, if Kane's injured, or if they're both injured, then Lamela, Bergwijn, Moura, and they find those pockets of space. It's just their finishing ability isn't up to scratch with what Kane or a second striker could bring.
Mm-hmm.
So
you just need a presence.
Yeah. Exactly.
How important is it for Tottenham to get through to the next round in the cup today? Against all the odds, with all the difficulties with this fixture list. Well, how important was it, or could it have been thrown away this game?
I think it shows how much drive there is in the team, considering the amount of games we've played is just like never been seen before. It's just we've had no rest, nothing, and you could see it on some of the players. But the drive we had when Mourinho was even making suggestions that we might even like not try even in this cup, maybe just to pursue the Europa League even more, to win against a big six side, and especially in North London, a London derby with Chelsea. It just shows like how much drive the team has, and I think that really comes from Mourinho. I really think it does, and I think that the transfer window and the success of the transfer window and the amount of players we've got, I think that's given a boost to the team as well. But we really needed this just for team morale, just for overall in the club, and it was just feel good factor.
Yeah, completely agree. Who was your man of the match from tonight?
I would say, under the circumstances, maybe Reguilón. I mean, first 20 minutes, he was a bit meh, but it's his debut, first time in the Premier League, best league in the world, and not Premier League, first time against I know
what you mean.
Yeah.
He's playing a top club.
And he made an impact. He got a great assist. It was a nice ball in, a bit lucky with a bit touch and go defending from Chelsea. But I think he made a very positive impact. And without him, I don't think we would have got the result we got.
All right,
yeah.
Sam. Absolute pleasure speaking to you
Cheers,
as always.
Sam,
Cheers,
mate.
thank you.
Thank you.
No worries, mate. Cheers,
Cheers,
coming on,
mate.
mate. Good to speak to you.
I'd just like to tell Nick if you can turn your camera on because they can't see you in the back end. So if you're not going to turn your camera on, we might have to pass you. But let's move on to David Harris. Let's get him back on.
David.
David, is your audio working now?
Can you hear me?
Yay!
Come on, David. Come on, David. We can hear you loud and clear, mate. What a night for Tottenham. Beating Chelsea on penalties. Tell me your thoughts.
Look, games like today, it's not about the performance. It's about getting over the line, especially when it's your rivals. I mean, I hate Chelsea. They've broken my heart over the years, knocking us out in finals, semi-finals. I'm sick of the sight of them, and I'm delighted to get one over on them today. And Tottenham are the greatest team that you've ever seen. Come on.
Come on. But how well did we do to go over the line today, considering everything going against us? From the fixture list, from the injuries, from no backup striker, and everything to get over the line today. How impressive was it?
It's very impressive. It shows character. It also shows the winning mentality at all costs that Mourinho was is trying to install. I actually said in the live chat before the game that I think looking at the lineup that we'd keep it tight and try and nick a goal or try and get it to penalties, and that's what we done today. Look, we have another game Thursday. Mourinho's eye is on that. He said that in the press conference beforehand, and it shows good character to get over the line today. And it's even better when Chelsea's Frank Lampard's little plan by Mason Mount misses the fifth penalty.
Just how good does it feel to get one over them? Just tell me how good. Tell me your emotions.
Oh man, I'm bursting with happiness. I'm about to cry. I'm not even messing. Over here, I get a lot of stick for being a Spurs fan because they're all Chelsea, Arsenal, United, Liverpool. You know what I mean? And just to get one over on the rivals, man, I'm going to be unbearable for the next few weeks. I'm not messing.
But do you think Mourinho played a really good mind trick on Lampard with all the stuff he was coming out in the game? Tottenham aren't even tried to win this game. It's impossible for Tottenham to compete. All this kind of stuff. Do you think he was playing mind games on Frank?
We all know over the years that Mourinho has been a good manipulator of the press. In fairness, yeah, he got into Lampard's head today. And look, he got one. Look, Lampard's bet him the last 3 times Mourinho's come up against him, and it mean a lot to him. You've seen him dancing down the tunnel there with Joe Sacramento. But the mind games in the press beforehand. He said we weren't going to take it serious, and Lampard fell for it in my eyes.
Nice. I want to know your thoughts on our debutant, Sergio Reguilón on the left back. I want to know what your thoughts are on him.
I thought the first 20 minutes he was a bit too eager, but look, it's good to see someone excited running around in a Tottenham shirt and wanting to play for the badge. Then he eased into the game. I thought he had a very good game today, a good debut, and I think he'll end up taking the left back spot ahead of Ben Davies because he offers a threat down the left hand side, to be fair to him.
I mean, he's got a bit of pace. Someone that's got some pace at left back,
It couldn't get much slower than Ben Davies.
It's true, but he is rapid. He is absolutely rapid. But talk to me about Indombele, because obviously a lot of people have been talking positively about him the last couple of games.
Another 90 minutes today.
Another 90 minutes today. Do you think he carried on that good form today?
Look, he's a great passer on the ball. Every game he seems to play now, his passing is getting better, and I think he's looking more and more confident. But the only thing is his fitness there. The last 10-15 minutes he was strolling around, dragging his arse behind him. He just needs to get a bit fitter, and I think we have a very good player on our hands there.
100%, David. Look, David, I'm going to let you go and cause madness out in Ireland.
Exactly. Don't let them give you anything. You give it back to them.
Give
David.
them all the shit that's possibly possible. Go enjoy your next few weeks against them lot. Look, but it's not stopping. We got Haifa on Thursday, Man United on Sunday. So let's hope for another couple of good performances and good results. Thank you so much for coming on, David.
Come on, David.
Come on, you Spurs.
We've got Josh King on now.
Josh King.
Josh
I think
King.
he was in talks with Torino.
Yeah, you know, he's coming to Spurs, mate.
Josh King has pulled out of Torino talks to come and speak to us today. How you doing, mate?
Good. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to go to Italy now. But yeah, no, wicked. Great win. I think that Jose got his spot on, leaving the big guns on until last 30 minutes.
Can you just repeat that again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
He wants to,
I just wanted you to say Jose got his spot on again.
Yeah, I know. He's getting me to, like, you got the Southampton game, the Newcastle game, where it's, I couldn't blame anything on Jose. We played great football. And then I know that we kind of like sat back first half, but what are we going to do with our second team? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and then he got them working, came out and fought second half. I think Chelsea were quite arrogant, to be honest. Like, they had the stronger team, like thought that they could like kind of press the F out of us, like first half, but they didn't really. If it wasn't for the Reguilón having a little bit of a mistake, a
little bit,
then then I don't think that they didn't really have that much of a sniff. There was the Tanganga mistake where it like came off him, and then there was that Reguilón mistake. They didn't cut us open or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? And then second half, we just took it to them. I do honestly think we were the better team, even though pundits aren't saying that at the moment.
Are they not? What game do they watch?
No, well, I'm just seeing on Twitter, to be honest. Like, some people are saying, the game was there for Chelsea to be won, and basically they should have been out of sight in the first half. But I think we had more shots than them and stuff.
We had. We were better in the second half than they were in the first half.
Hugo didn't have a save to make. Other than the Werner one late on in the second half.
Yeah, he barely had a better touch. Do you think there was a lot of mind games played by Mourinho pre-match for this game?
Well, I'm hearing that. I'm hearing that. Sorry, I'm getting some feedback. I don't know where that's coming from.
No,
you're perfect on our end.
Sound all right on our end, mate.
Whoever's in the back room, please turn off the feedback because I can't hear.
Maybe it's in the back room. Yeah, we can't. Hear it.
But I'm hearing that Son might even be fit for Man United. Like, there's rumours on
not
Twitter.
Man United, but I think after the international break.
After the international, but that could be more mind games.
Could be more mind games. Let's hope so.
Obviously, Ollie had a bit of a dig at us today, talking about us getting a bye. This could be Jose's revenge.
Maybe. Yeah. But do you think all the talk that he was saying before the game, we're not going to take it seriously, we can't compete, he wants to compete, but the fixture list isn't going to let him. Do you think that was all mind games?
I don't think it was quite, because he put out if it was mind games, he'd then put out our first 11. Do you know what I mean? That's my opinion anyway, because we played without a striker. We were quite toothless up front in the first half. Glad for Lamela to get his goal in the end, but it was a bit of mind games. It's kind of like playing it down and lulling Chelsea into a false sense of security, but we didn't play our first team, did we? So
no.
Yeah.
Do you think there's been a massive mentality change that's clear? Because I think that 11 that started the game, other than Reguilón, is more or less the team that would have started towards the back end of last season before the restart, when we had all the injuries. Son was out, Kane was out, and we were struggling without a striker. But we just looked. When we played in those games, we genuinely looked like a horrendous football team. Whereas today, we look much more organised, much better football. And even without Harry Kane on the pitch, and it was Bergwijn and Lamela up front, we had some chances. So do you think there's been a bit of a mentality change there in terms of when we don't have our best players on the pitch, we can still perform?
Yeah, no, I totally do. I can't believe that I'm flip-flopping on Jose so much, but there's definitely something coming, isn't there? Like,
I think this is the third time I can count.
No, but I do also think a big part of that is a fit and firing Ndombele. We had, we haven't had, in those games last season where we were falling apart, Ndombele, wasn't, I don't know if he wasn't interested or whatever. He was having problems with Jose and stuff. So you didn't have that person in the middle that can control, beat the press. And Ndombele is so good. Like, I've just been on another show where it was all Chelsea fans. Like, I came on as an opposition view.
I bet that was fun.
Yeah, it was. And they were saying how much of a baller Ndombele is. Like, the rest of the Prem's starting to notice now. He is going to be a monster when we've got him, Gio, Bale, Kane, Son. Oh my, honestly.
And what do you think? What do you think it showed that Mourinho kept him on for the whole 90 minutes yet again? Do you reckon he's starting to get the trust of Jose now?
Yeah, he looks happy as well. Apart from he looked knackered at the end when we won.
He was
that?
dead.
Yeah. he could.
I'm telling you, he looks fitter. And
He
I
does
said
look
to Ben,
fitter.
his local KFC's shut down. He's disappointed. But
Well, that's his second 90 minutes in the last week.
He looks. Look, everyone knows he's got ability, and we all knew it was down to him, and he's starting to prove it. So
yeah, I think that's a big difference from the team that would have been starting like the back end of last season before the restart. Because when you got Sissoko and Jedson, or Sissoko and Winks, or Sissoko and I don't know why I keep saying Sissoko.
Yeah, because it's always Sissoko. That's right. It's always Sissoko plus, and that's it.
It just makes a difference having a player that can control the ball and pass the ball. Do you know what I mean?
no, spot on.
Another signing I want to talk to you about is Pierre Højbjerg. Obviously, it was a strange position coming on when we needed a goal. But what did you make out of his performance? And do you think he added that calmness in the midfield that we needed?
Yes, he's surprising me as well, because my like kind of thoughts on him before, like watching him after the restart at Southampton, he looked like someone that could win balls, but he didn't look good on the ball. And he's not that great on the ball, but he's kind of calm on the ball. He'll play it backwards a lot, but he doesn't lose it that often. So I'm really happy about that. And yeah, he's getting better and better every game, isn't he? And the way he stepped up, and I was like, oh, don't miss that penalty.
I know.
And he just tucked it home. It was probably the most confident penalty, to be honest.
Yeah, we scored 5 out of 5 penalties. It's probably not enough as
This is not Tottenham. This is not Tottenham.
Someone's got to check. Someone's got to have a drug test.
Yeah, what's going on? 5 out of 5 penalties. That does
I
not
personally
seem
think
right.
it should be Indombele.
Yeah.
He's played 90 minutes. He's played 90 minutes twice in less than a week.
Get him tested now.
Do you think that Sundays we're finally going to see Indombele and Lo Celso on the same pitch together?
I hope so.
Because if he put 90 today, then
I think it depends on Thursday.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, it depends, because Lo Celso as well has been gassed out quite early in games because he's also just coming back from injury and what have you. So I think maybe after the international break we'll start seeing like Tottenham proper turning up with Lo Celso and Indombele in the middle. But I think this Man United game might just come a bit too quick.
Is Thursday at home?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I think we're going to win on Sunday.
It'll be the
You reckon?
Lucky
Yeah.
it is.
Do you reckon Reguilón? What do you reckon about his performance today? And do you reckon he's going to be playing on Sunday as well?
Yeah, I do. He look. I know he did look a bit timid not timid actually. He just looked a bit overzealous in like the first 20 minutes or whatever. But it's his debut. He hasn't got the best players around him either. That's what I felt. I wanted him to make his debut with our first team. Do you know what I mean? So he's got help around him. But he's so rapid. He's got so much passion as well. Like he starts over Davis for me now, definitely.
I think him and Son could cause havoc.
If we do go out and beat Man United this weekend, do you reckon the rest of the Premier League will finally sit up and take notice that Tottenham are arriving this season? Because everyone's writing us off. Everyone's writing us off.
I know, like a lot of my United, Chelsea mates, they don't, because they haven't been watching our games. They don't realise that we're actually playing better football than them right now.
Yeah.
Like United look torrid. Brighton should have tore them apart on the weekend. Chelsea losing, 3-0 down in the first 28 minutes, I think it was. Like we are in better form than them, even though the results don't say that because of the draw. And I really hope that they don't take notice. I hope they just put it down to a fluky win, because I like us being under the radar. I think we're going to surprise people this season.
I think you're spot on as well. Obviously, City conceded 5 at home. So, and Arsenal were beaten on Monday. It's yeah.
All right, seconds on, people. Seconds on.
Yeah. And that Everton loss don't look bad anymore, does it? Because look at how they're playing.
They're playing well at the moment as well. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
All right, Josh, absolute pleasure as always. Thanks for coming.
Good luck on your move to
Josh.
Italy as well.
All right.
Cheers,
Good
mate.
to see you, man.
Oh man, always good speaking to Josh. But now let's get Ashley Chanel on. Ash,
Hi guys.
how's it going, mate?
Yes, Josh.
Yes, Tottenham.
Come on.
Just tell me, how good does that feel?
Very good. Very, very good. I was watching it. To be honest, I was getting a bit bored in the first half. I was getting a bit tired. But yeah, no, very good. I thought Sergio Reguilón, I'll get his name right, was very good. What I find with Sergio Reguilón is that he's young and he's a left back, like left wing back. He's pacey. And I took notice of what Bale said when he was on talking. And Bale turned around and said that obviously he's learned over experience not to do them runs and everything. And I think Sergio Reguilón, like a young Bale, I think he might turn into a Bale eventually. I think he might be a left winger.
He did show a few signs of Gareth Bale at left back a few times today.
Yeah. So I was quite excited by that. Overall, I thought it was a good performance. I think you should keep saying that player should come off, because when you said Lamela should come off, he scored. So keep saying that.
Who was it? I said Moura should come off last week as well.
Just keep doing it. We'll be fine. But yeah, no, very, very good. I'm very happy.
Yeah, how important was it though to get through today's tie? With everything stacked against us, everyone wrote us off before the game started. So how good was it to prove everyone wrong?
Yeah, very good. The Carabao Cup, I think, is, well, at the end of the day, it's another cup, isn't it? The way I see it, I mean, people may see things differently. Europa League is more important in terms of for us, but obviously Europa League is a long competition. There's lots of games to still play. And the Premier League, obviously, we'd all love to see us win the Premier League, but it's going to be very, very hard this year. And if you take out the Premier League and you put Europa League, that's, if we want a trophy this year, which everyone wants a trophy this year, you've got to look at every single trophy and try and win every single one. So why say Carabao Cup, isn't, that important? If we can win it, it's still a trophy that we need. So, yes, I think I'm very happy to be in the quarterfinal, and I'm hoping, I don't want to say anything too soon. I'm hoping that we can actually get to the final. But,
only 2 wins away from the final. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Get another final. It might not be as good as the Champions League final, but at least it'll be a final again.
Who surprised you tonight? Obviously, when the teams came out, it was obviously a weakened side with not much threat going forward. But who really stood out for you today?
Apart from Sergio, I actually thought Toby in defence.
Okay.
I thought he was quite solid in defence, and I thought a few of the long balls he made were really good. I like him for that anyway. I like Toby being on for his long balls. He's very good at kicking the ball up and finding space and finding Reguilón or Son or whoever's down there, and that's where it creates it. If we can't get through in the middle, I think that's where it creates it a lot. So yeah, Toby for me actually.
Yeah, the long ball sort of led to the goal as well. So I thought both centre halves were with Dyer as well. Dyer playing in 90 minutes both in 2 days. So yeah, I agree on that one.
Although Dyer was off for like 2 minutes, haven't we?
A man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Exactly. If you got to go, you got to go.
I mean,
no matter what happens on the pitch, just go, just run.
He obviously had a doner kebab before the game. So.
But Ashley, absolute pleasure speaking to you as always. Thanks for coming on.
No worries. Have a good day, guys. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Let's bring on.
I just want to read this out. Assists for Tottenham since 2018. Ben Davies 0, Sergio Reguilón 1.
I like the tweet above it. The upgrade.
This upgrade. So that shows what attacking intent we're getting with Reguilón.
I like the one there. Dyer's piss changed the game.
Let's bring on Sai. Yes, Sai. Not at the train station today.
I'm kind of half working still, so
join the club. No.
Your work looks more fun than mine.
Sai, talk to me about the game.
It was brilliant. I know we had maybe a bit of a dodgy first half, but I don't really want to focus on that. I just want to focus on the fact that we've beaten Chelsea, and we're.
Can you say that again? I didn't quite hear you. We've beaten who?
Oh, you're joking. Right, I thought there was a problem with my sound. I was like,
we beaten Chelsea! Come on!
We beaten Chelsea, man. Come on. No, I want Arsenal in the next round. Let's just finish it all off, shall we? But it's absolutely fantastic. There's so many positives in that second half, and you could tell, some game changers came on. I think Kane coming on definitely helped us a lot, and I think actually Jose was pretty clever, to be fair, because if you notice, he did start bringing on players that he felt, who's going to take some penalties for me when we get to that point. It was almost like it was destiny. It was in the pipeline to to know that we could get back into that and take it in those penalty shootouts. So yeah, I'm over the moon, mate. I think it's fantastic.
So
Absolutely brilliant.
I want to ask you. Obviously, Sergio Reguilón's getting all the credit, and rightly so. I thought for 70 minutes, other than the first 20, he was superb. But on the other side, Serge Aurier hasn't played much recently. Coming into tonight in a big game, gets a lot of stick most games he plays, and I thought tonight he really did well against Timo Werner and Mount and Hudson-Odoi coming over on that side.
It's a second good performance in a row as well.
And he obviously when Doherty comes in, he probably knew that it's to more or less either replace him or just start ahead of him. And I thought tonight, he going forward defensively, I thought he was really, really good and sort of proved the point to everyone. I wanted to get your thoughts on his performance.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I think it was similar to the other day as well. You know, he absolutely stepped up, and I think I mentioned it as well before that we needed that kind of those kind of fringe players to, or not fringe players, but alternative players to push the other guys. Competition is really important, and even for Harry up front, I think he needs someone up there. Like I know you touched upon it earlier that it's clear to see that we missed that kind of alternative striker. But having these backup players is so important. All the big teams have this, and I really feel that throughout the whole of the side now, with the exception of maybe one or two spaces, we've got really good cover. We've got really good options to take on all of these competitions this year. I know, like the Carabao is like the Mickey Mouse Cup, right? But when you beat teams like Chelsea in it becomes a bit more important. When you start getting to the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, it gets even more exciting. And I think we've got the players to do this now, whereas before, like Pochettino era, and not just him, to be fair, I think it's just generally across Premier League teams, they tend to play a weakened side or they can't really be bothered. But that's not Jose, mate. He wants to win everything. And, Serge Aurier was fantastic again today, as he was the other day, as I mentioned. I think that is so critical and just proof that sort of philosophy of having those backup players and pushing Daniel Levy to get these extra players in is what's going to take us in this season. Because when we start getting tired legs and we can rely on some backup players or alternative players to come in and put in that kind of performance, it's happy days, mate. I think I'm really positive about the season moving forward. Really, really pleased with today all around. Yeah. Fantastic.
What do you think we can achieve this season?
I told you at the beginning, we'll win the title. we'll win
the but that's a given. But what else?
Let's be serious. I mean, I firmly believe we'll get something this year in terms of silverware, 100%. I truly believe in Jose. I truly believe in this team. I think the Carabao Cup is probably I'm not going to say the easiest of the lot. And to be fair, when Chelsea were drawn for us after we won last week, people were kind of like, oh, well, that's us out now. Mate, I was sitting there strong. I tell you now, I knew we were going to beat Chelsea. It's not a surprise to me whatsoever. I think we're a better team, and that's not me being biased. I just generally believe that. And I think that, we can push on with that competition. And I want us to get that Europa League. I do believe we will get top four. I believe we'll finish in the top three. But it'd be nice to get that Europa League, just in case, but also to get that, a bit of European dominance there,
So
I'm just really positive.
Is the quadruple on?
The quadruple? I've always said it's on, but Liverpool and a couple of other teams are going to be really strong this year. It's going to be really difficult in the Premier League. But these cup competitions, we've got a big drive now. And I haven't seen that for a number of years in these cup competitions. And I really feel after today that we're giving it our best. Like, we're not down and out at half time. We're not just going to, deal with that. We're just going to pull the players on that we need to get them and go and win this game. Yes, it was penalties, but I think it was like 3 years ago or something. Watford, actually, I think it was. I was looking earlier that we won penalties last. So it's really positive. On that side, it's going to give them a massive boost. Tanganga it was good to see him back today. There's so many positives, mate. I could be here all night talking about positivity. I'm not at the train station. I'm not depressed today. I'm in a happy mood, and I'm working. That's the weirdest thing.
Come on,
I'm
Si.
happy and working. Come on.
Si, always
Well
a
done.
pleasure, mate. Thanks for coming on.
All right, boys. Lovely to see you.
Nice
Nice
to
to
see you,
see
Si.
you.
Up the
See you in a bit.
Spurs. Up the Spurs.
Come on.
Always good speaking to Si. Our last guest today, let's bring on Joe.
Who's that?
Not Joe Lee, different
come
Joe. Joe,
guys.
how you doing, man?
Yes.
Come on!
Come on, you Spurs. Yes.
Love it.
Happy
Absolutely
days,
love
gentlemen.
it.
Really is happy days. Talk me through your feelings.
Do you know, last year, I think, amongst the lows, the 2 defeats against Chelsea were absolutely devastating last season.
Yeah.
You know, the away game, we went there, we were hopeful, terrible performance.
We had no striker.
Dombele had a shocker, bad. And then the home game, they came and they absolutely made mincemeat out of us in front of our big crowd and new stadium. And just today, the only disappointing thing today was that we weren't in the stadium to see that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the crowd, you know, when in that second half, you know, quite often the Spurs fans are criticised for, you know, we go a bit quiet when we're down. You know, you can imagine the first half today, Chelsea on top, we would have been a bit down. But second half, you need the team to kind of generate the momentum, get back. Can you imagine the crowd today reacting to that performance in the second half? The energy, you know, in a game where you're behind, pressing is the great leveler. Because you don't have to be skillful to press. You just need to put the effort in, make up the yards, and they did that. And you know, at the start of the game, you're thinking, no strikers. But in the second half, I thought some great performances and some real heroes out there tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could you see that second half performance coming after the first half performance?
I did see a reaction in terms of more effort. I imagine Mourinho, you know, the first half we weren't terrible. We just weren't putting the effort in again. We've seen it before with Spurs.
Yeah.
We weren't making those 10-yard selfless runs, but I could see greater performance. But to be honest, I expected more substitutions earlier. I didn't expect the same 11 to come out the second half. And I can imagine him saying to them, right, you know, this is it. You guys who are, you know, squad players, this is your chance. Got to get out there and show what you can do. And I think some of them did. I mean, look, Lamela, right? Did you think Lamela would still be around this far into Mourinho management? And look, he grabbed his chance tonight. 90 minutes, got a goal in the last 10. You know, I'd give him man of the match just for that impact. And then his little post on Instagram after, I don't know if you guys saw that.
Haven't seen it, no.
You know, the guy bleeds for the club. And I was really pleased for him. And then, you know, I'm not even going to say his name. I'm just going to say we've now got a regular lion in the team.
Hey!
Boom. Sorry if that joke's been done. But, you know,
no, we haven't heard that one before.
There you go. I'll trademark that. But if that's a sign of things to come, you know, if anything, he was too over the top first half, trying a little bit too hard, overcommitting to tackles. But he ran. I mean, he's fast. He's committed. You can see that he's gonna be like a rabbit up and down that touchline. And you know, we started out playing a 3 at the back, which, you know, I thought perhaps we were ceding a little bit too much of the field to Chelsea with that selection. But what it showed was that, you know, he can be very good as an attacking left-sided player with 3 at the back. You know, people say it's either him or Davis, but you could have Davis inside him in the 3. But anyway, I thought we did better second half when we pushed somebody further forward. But yeah, I mean, how exciting is that for a debut? And you know, the kind of team morale at the end, the celebrations and so on. We needed that.
Yeah.
And I think I came on last week and talked about how these games might be useful in kind of helping some players to form and fitness. I thought we saw that tonight. Even Jedson wasn't as, you know, disappointing perhaps.
I knew you were trying to dress it up a bit kindly.
Yeah, look, I mean, are we going to sign him? I think we're still a long way off from making that decision. But Yeah, I think he did okay. Look, he played his role as a squad player today, and I thought he didn't let himself down.
No.
But anyway,
Joe, you spoke about the changes, and you were surprised to see the same 11 come out in the second half. Do you think Mourinho got the timing of his changes and the changes themselves correct? Do you think it was all bang on, or would you have changed?
Well, given the result, absolutely.
Would you have made the same changes at the same time?
I thought the way things went first half, I couldn't see us starting the second half without a striker, whether that be Kane or even Moura. You got to say Mourinho stuck to his guns there, because for all the toil up front in the first half, I thought, as others have commented, clearly what we were missing is some sort of edge up front, the physical presence. Someone with their back to the goal just to hold the ball up. We were making progress into the Chelsea half, but just not getting there. And fullbacks were trying to overlap Aurier and Reguilón, but there was just no one to keep the ball there long enough for them to make those runs. And so tactically, I just thought, it's not about the personnel. It's about, look, I need to put a forward on. I was surprised by that, but he obviously saw something in the performance that we didn't. Maybe Lamela said to him, "Boss, give me more time. I will score. I will score." And you got to take your hat off to Mourinho. First half, I don't know if you guys were watching on Sky, but you could see a little bit of jabber between Mourinho and Lampard.
Yeah, we saw that.
I'm just so pleased that we got one over on Fat Frank.
I can't stand Fat Frank.
He was so tetchy. He was so defensive. He was going, well, of course, we were the better side. We played him off the park. We should have had more goals. We should have put it to bed. And to get that win after him coming out with that was just...
I didn't realise he said that.
Did he say that?
Absolutely brilliant.
I
can't stand Fat Frank.
I know.
Can't stand the man.
And to think about... go on, Joe.
Well, no, just final comment on Fat Frank is if this is only Carabao Cup, but if Chelsea get used to losing games like this, is he going to be there for the season?
Gone before Christmas, mate. That's what I say.
There's a lot of pressure on him. I think.
There is massive pressure on Lampard.
They've spent almost £100 million on one 20-year-old kid.
Yeah.
They spent 20 or plus 30 on another goalkeeper. They've spent Thiago Silva's on £100,000 a week. Ben Chilwell was £50 million, and I'm only halfway there. Timo Werner, who else?
Kai Havertz, yeah.
I mean, you get my point.
But to think about this attack that we had today, with the news today now, Son apparently is coming back from international break. He's going to be fit. Bale's going to be back after international break. Hopefully, Kane doesn't play like however many minutes he's going to play for England. Well, what a prospect of our attack's going to be when we come back after United.
Reggie bombing down the left.
With Reguilón as well coming in. I mean, how exciting is it at the moment?
Oh, it's incredibly exciting. I mean, who do you pick? And it's got to be Son, Kane, and Bale as your front three when they're all fit. But even Bergwijn looked pretty good today. I'm pretty certain if he got a run of games, 5 games, 90 minutes, you would see a special player there.
Yeah. I think that was his best performance of the season.
I've been critical recently of him. Yeah. Today, as the game got on, he got more involved and was more effective.
Yeah, 100%. But Joe, the year ends in 1 this season. What can we achieve?
Oh my God!
Don't get too excited. Jeez.
I think we're right to be optimistic about winning some silverware this season. I'm convinced that with Mourinho, we do have. Look, we got our best shot at a trophy, I think, for a number of seasons. And that Amazon documentary, I know it's great, we loved it, but I didn't really like the spotlight that shone on the interior workings. I think it's very difficult for players to perform the club. That must have been a distraction. They've got that off their backs now. They can focus. I think we're going to win a trophy. I really have no idea about top 3, top 4. I've heard some people suggest we're going to win the league.
Quadruple, mate.
Man United game this weekend, coming off what will be a very tough week. The thing about the first half was I was thinking not quite our first team against Chelsea's not quite first team. My heart sank a little because I just looked at it and I thought, you know what, they're better than us. damn, they're better than us. Second half, they completely changed that round. And if we can perform like that against Chelsea, who people saying going to be, competing for the title this season, why can't we take it to the other teams as well? Why can't we take it to Man City at least? Man United, I think that's a big game at the weekend, because that is, top 4 kind of contender versus top 4 contender. And you know what? The performance will be so much more important than the result. I know that sounds silly to say, but if we can get at least a point, great. A win, fantastic. But just the main thing is that we don't look worse than them. If we play like we did second half today, teams will start to fear us a little bit, and maybe we'll get that 5 yards. People dropping off 5 yards, and when Bale's in the side, you just watch those defenses all drop 10 yards. And concede pitch to us.
I can't wait.
It's exciting, guys.
It's exciting times.
Bale looks excited as well today.
I know. Thank you so much for coming on. Always a pleasure speaking to you.
Cheers, Joe.
Come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs!
Come on.
All right, so that concludes the fan show, the post-match fan show today. It's late now, but thank you all of you for staying tuned in till this late. It's been a marathon. It's been definitely worth it. We have beaten Chelsea on penalties in the Carabao Cup fourth round. We're through to the quarterfinals. The draw will be taking place on Thursday night
after the Arsenal game.
After the Arsenal-Liverpool game. So check out tomorrow. We'll be bringing you our player ratings from the game. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs!
So, sorry about that technical difficulty.
We're back.
It's Man United. It's no, but the could Hugo have done better for the goal?
Well, they didn't hear our conversation.
Oh,
before,
right.
so.
Well, we were just discussing whether Lloris could have done better for the goal. At the time, I gave him a bit of stick said, and then Sim said he couldn't see. I think it's a bit of a toss up. I'm not sure.
I mean, he didn't have much to do, did he, throughout the game?
He had that save in the second half, which was right straight down his throat. Other than that, not really. But I said to one of the in the fan camps to someone, Serge Aurier, bit of an unsung hero tonight.
100%. I think that he's come in 2 games now this season, and I think he's been brilliant both games.
Yeah,
I think he's been absolutely brilliant.
One thing we talk about all the top clubs having 2 great strikers, which they do and which we don't, but not all the top clubs have 2 great right backs, and I think we do at the moment.
Yeah.
I think having Aurier and Doherty, Matt Doherty, great options to have, and I think the whole back 4 or 5, whatever you want to call it tonight, were really good. Kept them at bay, did their jobs. I thought everyone to an extent did their jobs, so that's what was the most pleasing, I think.
And let's talk about the new signing. A lot has been said in the post-match show about him. Obviously, it was his mistake for the goal, but how good is it for him to brush himself off like that and just go at it? And one of the best players, if not man of the match today.
Absolutely massive. I also think that making mistakes is part and parcel of football. It happens. It happens to everyone. It happens to every single footballer to ever play at any level. You make mistakes, and it can happen at any moment. And it's about how you react, how you respond. And I think he responded in the perfect manner. He brushed himself down. The game restarted, and he went again. And he realised what maybe the mistake he made was maybe coming inside, which he probably shouldn't have done, or diving in, probably shouldn't have done. And he made sure he didn't do that for the rest of the game. He kept going. He got himself a great assist on his weaker foot.
Yeah,
and he's an instant hero.
100%, and the attributes he shows, that pace and that speed, oh my days. I mean, it's just such a breath of fresh air.
It's honestly like watching a 16-year-old Gareth Bale down that side.
It's such a breath of fresh air to have someone with pace at left back. He should have scored.
Probably should have scored. So, absolutely. And look, I just can't wait to see him and Son down the left-hand side.
Oh, mate.
Because when defenders see Son going either left or right, because you can go left or right, they're going to shit themselves when they think, right, he can go left or right, but hang on a minute, there's a flying left back going past me as well. So what do I do here? So I'm so excited.
Another unsung hero tonight, Højbjerg. I thought he came on and he was a complete calming presence in the middle of the park. You saw what a dominating performance in midfield he played against Newcastle. But before that, you'd probably say he hasn't really arrived yet, hasn't really played that well. Are we seeing the real Emil Højbjerg now?
I thought Sunday was fantastic. I thought second half at Southampton he was much better. And I think we are seeing a much better Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. It's sort of like, I want to use a strange analogy, it's sort of like when you're at school and the teacher's not quite there yet, and everyone in the class is going mental, throwing things around, screaming and shouting. The teacher walks in and it's dead silent, and everyone's calm. That's sort of like the effect Højbjerg has. Comes on, he's
got that mentality as well.
Everyone's calm, everyone's level-headed. They know what their jobs are. Højbjerg's talking to them. The one massive thing on a football pitch is talking and communication. You've got to always be talking. If you're silent on a football pitch, you won't win the game. And I think that's another really important attribute that Pierre has.
Do you think this could actually be a big moment in our season, a kind of a turning point where maybe a catalyst even that says, you know, we're not going to be pushovers anymore. Yeah. We're going to get the job done.
I hope so. But the problem is, I want to say yeah, but how many times have we been in this situation? How many times have you asked me that question? How many times have you asked Sim that question? How many times have you asked anyone that you talk to?
But there's a difference now. The difference is we've got Jose Mourinho as manager. He's got a fully fit squad, and he's got a bloody good squad as well.
This is like, I think we've said it. We just said it on Lewis's channel. We've said it in the fan show that this is the best squad we have. Probably, let's just say it. This is the best squad we have ever had in the Premier League era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
Because you go back to our best seasons, the one under Harry, starting 11 was good.
If not ever, like literally, like Heung-min Son on the left, Gareth Bale on the right, Harry Kane up top, and then you're thinking about players who can come in.
Steven Bergwijn, a £30 million superb winger. Lucas Moura, the hat-trick hero from Amsterdam. Hopefully, a backup striker. Erik Lamela. Dele Alli's not even in the squad tonight. I know he's not been good, but at the end of the day, he's a good footballer.
Yeah.
Gio Lo Celso wasn't involved tonight. We can go on with it. Even Ben Davies, the stick he gets. One thing Ben Davies is he's consistent. Well, I was about to say consistently average, but he has attributes that Reguilón doesn't have. Reguilón can't defend like Ben Davies can. Mm-hmm. Ben Davies can defend. He really can, and I think he gets a lot of stick for because he's not got a lot of pace. He's not got the final ball. He's not an attacking left back. But we've got good options. Serge Aurier is your backup right back. It's not bad at all.
I just want to respond to someone in the comments. Dale G. He asks if we're live or this is a repeat. This is live, baby.
We are live, mate.
This is live, baby.
We are staying here all night.
This is the all-night
stream. We are here till Thursdays. We might as well be here till Thursday's game, live the entire time. You're going to watch me sleep. You're going to watch Ben sleep. You're going to watch Sim snore.
No, but look, we talk about the squad. Apart from the striking position, which I do expect us to bring one in until the end of the window. Do we have two players in every position now? Two good players in every position?
Yeah, I mean, Lloris, you've got three great goalkeepers, two fantastic right backs, left backs. If we bring a Skriniar in, a bundle of centre halves to choose from. Centre midfield is the same, a bundle to choose from. Wingers, we've got wingers galore. We've got the best winger in the world, Heung-min Son. We've got the other best winger in the world, Gareth Bale. We've got the best striker in the world, Harry Kane. We've got the two best upcoming midfielders in the world, in Indombele and Gio. Like, what's not to be excited? We've got the best manager, arguably ever, in Jose Mourinho. We've got the best stadium, the best training ground, the best YouTube channel. Like, what else? What else am I? Like, what else do we need?
Yeah, 100%. No.
And yes, we can. If you can hear us shout, "Coys, Coys,
Coys! Come on, you Spurs!" I mean, I'm just so gassed. I'm so happy that we put these Chelsea lot in their place after the last couple of games we played against them as well. Like, what a difference this is from last season to the two games we played against Chelsea.
Oh,
like, because they completely walked all over us.
Someone mentioned it earlier. I think it was Joe in his fan cam. The Chelsea home game was just from start to finish a mess. I'd call it. I don't know what happened that day.
Yeah.
But the away game was different because.
But also, when you got to remember, in that away game, we had a similar lineup as we did today.
Yeah, and it was also a similar week. We had three tough games in a week. Yeah. We had Leipzig, Chelsea, and somebody else. And we were okay in that. I think it was, again, the first half we were poor against them, and in the second half, once they scored a second, we woke up a bit. But yeah, massive difference, and I'm absolutely buzzing with the reaction in the second half tonight, the performances of everyone, and yeah, I'm just seeing we're going to take over AFTV. Fuck AFTV, they're all way too self-entitled.
But look, I think it might be time to call it a night tonight. It's nearly midnight. Look, we've still got 650.
Yeah, we kick off in our next game in a few hours.
Yeah, we got a lot of content to make you guys tomorrow. So we're going to log off now. Thank you all so much.
Hang on, you should add Ben Simmons Slav emoji.
Yeah, we will do that, Si. But look, Dale G, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, I'm a Celtic and Spurs fan. A good striker is Edouard from Celtic. I know. I was saying that the other day. I would love it if we could bring him in. I think
We're
he's
still
quality.
getting super chats at midnight. Sure you want to stop?
I mean, I don't really want to stop, but I kind of have to because we got to be up early tomorrow to start.
I agree,
making
though.
the content
Odson
again.
one's a great option.
No, I completely agree with that. I think he's one that we should be looking at.
Alfredo Morelos as well, but he's a bit of a loose screw.
Yeah, I mean, if you want someone to get sent off every game, then bring him in.
I mean, if he eats us defenders, I'm all for it. But Edinson Cavani's and Luka Jovic are available. Cavani's free, Jovic on loan. Look, Real Madrid love us at the moment. Can we have
Well, it
him
looks
as well?
like United are looking at both of them.
Can we have Jovic as well? Maybe if they're feeling that generous.
I don't know why Levy didn't pick him up while he was out in Madrid.
Yeah, but look, we'll have player ratings for you in the morning. We'll be back in. There's no stop for us.
We got player ratings tomorrow. We got predicted lineup
Match
from
preview
Maccabi
for
Haifa tomorrow.
Maccabi Haifa,
and we might have an opposition preview as well for you for a Maccabi Haifa podcast. I'm in touch with at the moment, so check out on that. Could be 3 interesting pieces of content tomorrow, and also our Skriniar announcement video tomorrow is going to come out.
Well, look, if we can get
here we go from Fabrizio Romano.
Milan Skriniar's a super centre half. Yeah. I also read today interested in Mary Demiral, another super centre half. Take any of them. Then if we got those, I honestly wouldn't mind a Dini or someone just, you know what I mean,
just someone to fill the gap.
Maybe someone a bit more mobile than Dini, but just, you know what I mean.
Llorente.
Yeah. I just love a second striker. Y'all are live again.
Yeah, we're live, but we're about to go. And Seth Frey, Son is apparently back after international break for West Ham. So we could see a double header of Son and Bale coming back into the side that game. How exciting is that?
I mean, West Ham's next visit to us could see Bale, Son, Kane, Indombele, Gio, Reguilón all in one lineup. It could be
Indombele.
It could be an early night for some of those West Ham fans, but it remains to be seen.
Let's not get too overhead of ourselves because you know what happens when that happens. I mean, I like to stay under the radar.
No, I agree. Look, no game in the Premier League is easy, and I think that as the seasons come and go, every year gets tougher and tougher. We see every team is strong. I mean, Brighton and Hove Albion kicked Man United off the park the other day, and I think a better finishing team would have killed them off.
Yeah.
But we're all optimistic over here at Tottenham. Buzzing with tonight. Even if we didn't win that penalty shootout tonight, we wouldn't have been in the mood we are in. But the signs were there in that second half.
Come on.
Do you not agree?
100%. I think the performance in the second half was day and night from that first half. You could see the intent there. You can see the aggression
the desire
there. You can
to
see
get
the
a
desire.
goal.
Exactly. I mean, it was all there for everyone to see. And it was just confirmed when Harry Kane came on. We got that goal. And we won on penalties. Absolutely unbelievable. You know, look at 2 years ago when we lost on penalties in the semi-final to them. I mean,
and that was our second that game when we lost that game. I remember being there. The team we put out was our second team, and boy, was that a shite team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was a poor side. I don't know how we even nicked it to go to penalties in the end. Anyway, weren't we 2-0 down?
I can't remember, but you got better memory than me.
Well,
younger brains.
The quiz says otherwise. But thank you very much for everyone's comments and for getting in touch and for consistently keeping us going.
Yeah. Look, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. All the comments, all the super chats, all the subscriptions, everything, all the likes. It's been a big day. It's been a long day. We're going to sign off now. Thank you all. We'll see you again tomorrow for some content. We'll see you again on Thursday for another live watch-along in the Europa League. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
you.